Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the Splatoon 1 player's experience playing Splatoon 2. I've played a lot of Splatoon 1, I have 300 hours or so on it, and I recently bought Splatoon 2 for the, I don't know, because it was my birthday recently, and I just wanted to talk about the differences in my thoughts on Splatoon 2 from a Splatoon 1 player's perspective. Firstly, it's really cool how there's a lot more maps. Sometimes, though, it can feel like it's just a port of Splatoon 1 because there's so many just Splatoon 1 maps everywhere, and half of the time you get a rotation where it's Arowana Mall and Mori Towers or something. Also, specials are much sort of toned down, which is can be a bit difficult to get used to. But when you're used to like Kraken and shit being really OP and Bubbler making you just immortal in 5 seconds, I see the specials more as abilities than super abilities because it's often like an extra weapon. Which is, I guess, is really cool. For example, Inkjet, a lot of them seem really well balanced because all of the specials in Splatoon 1 were quite OP, except maybe Echo Locator, which is okay in solo queue though. Also, what's really cool is that they have the entire new game mode being Salmon Run, which I find really fun from the time I've played with it with some of my friends. It's really cool. It's nice to have an extra game mode that you can just grind if you don't want to do solo queue or league. Also, there's been a few changes to some of the ranked modes. For example, Tower Control has checkpoints, which I think is really fair and balanced because it was often really difficult to get through the other side when basically it was on the other side of the map and you had to ride on it for like 2 minutes just to get to the other side. So yeah, it's pretty fair and balanced. So there's an entire new ranked mode that being Clan Blitz, which I don't really like. I've played it a bit, but it's not that fun. It's just not well balanced and stuff. It's quite bad. And moving on, they added 2 whole new weapon classes, that being the Umbrellas and the Dualies. The Umbrellas I don't really see getting much use. They're not really that good. It would be really cool to see them more often. It seems like a really cool concept, having a shield. Also, the Dualies are really cool with the movement options. It's really fun to just dash around. I've actually been maining Dualies recently with Dapple and Julie Squelches. They're really fun. There's even a DLC to the game which I haven't played yet, called Octo Expansion. It's apparently incredible. Incredible. Get it? Fuck. Yeah, you probably don't get it. Excuse the puns. Octo Expansion is incredible from what I've seen about it. I can't wait to play as an Octoling rather. It seems really fun. Also, like, it's really hard, which is really good because you don't see that very often in Nintendo games. You're usually just a walk in the park where you can solo, where you can kill Octavio and shit in the first time you try it. And also, Nessa seems pretty balanced right now from what I've seen. K-Splat is a bit OP, but apart from that, it's pretty cool. I wish that there were more dualies and more Umbrellas in the meta. It's also just shooters. Chargers are a bit OP and powered as well. Online though, that's the one thing that I have a problem with, is Nintendo Switch Online, as you don't have to usually have to pay for it with Splatoon 1. It's a bit much to have to pay £20 a year $20, sorry, to play it. It's a little bit bad as well. The online, it's not terrible. They have a good anti-cheat though. I haven't really experienced any hackers or anything. I experienced like hackers once in every while in Splatoon. It's quite rare, but it does ruin the game when there's like a hacker in like ranked or something. So then you have to like switch to the other game mode because there's a singular hacker who's playing the game, which makes it completely unbalanced. Also, the specials, again, they're really cool. For example, I used to play Slosher, which had wall and it was a Kraken, which was actually really fun, but it was quite powerful. Well, at least in solo queue that was. But I really like the new sub weapons. Hammer, Bubbler, not Bubbler, Bubbles. They're really cool. As well as just the other specials in general are really balanced. Ray is a little bit underpowered nowadays though, unfortunately. It used to be one of the powerful specials in the game. Also, Splashdown. It's the worst special competitively, but it's arguably a really good special in lower down in solo queue. It's really difficult to avoid unless you have dualies where you can just sort of dash behind it, which is fun. Also, missiles are pretty fun. They're seeming pretty good. Ink Armor, basically a nerfed bubbler, in short. There's a lot of new weapons such as the Blob, the Nautilus, etc. They seem quite cool. The Blob Lobber is pretty interesting with its new sort of bouncing thing. I find it counters a lot of the high-level Japanese players that I have to deal with when playing with my friends in League. So I often run it when we're doing competitive League. But it's quite fun actually, the way it bounces. It's really unique. Also, the single player, it's actually not bad because you have multiple weapon types. Though I do find it to be a bit too easy at times. I only whited out once in the entire single player, and that was because I just fell off the platform 3 times. It's a bit easy, especially with like the weapons. It's fun though. It's a fun time. Good time. Though it's also the lore. It added so much more to the Splatoon lore. For example, I'm quite fascinated with the Salmonid Death Culture thing. It seems really interesting. Also, of course, Splatoon lore is quite dark, which is funny because it's rated E10 and up, and they sell their children for profit, which is quite interesting. Online, I haven't experienced frame rates, and I've heard that's because they lower the resolution rather than the frame rate, which I really like because Splatoon is a reactions-based multiplayer game, so it's a lot easier to not get lagged out and die, which is really good for the game because it's very difficult to deal with dropping frame rates. Often, I don't really mind if it drops too much, but it can give you a disadvantage when you're lower frames. It's a bit ridiculous to have to pay £20 a year just to get something that you got on the Wii and the Wii U for free. Of course, the only thing you can really play on the Wii is multiplayer is Call of Duty, which I don't think anyone plays. Sub weapons are pretty cool. For example, Color Bomb, it's Seeker basically, but it doesn't target. It's pretty cool though. Fizzy, I actually didn't know Fizzy existed until yesterday, because Fizzy is like so uncommon, but it's pretty powerful, and it's sort of a with lots of weapons put together, which I find really cool, and I really like Fizzy, as well as also there were some changes. For example, Rainmaker feels a bit weird on the new maps, but especially because Rainmaker can be on Moray Towers. It's just a bit. Rainmaker on Moray Towers in League is like a nightmare, because you can get it's the same on most maps. Rainmaker seems quite unbalanced, as you see people with 40 points and then jump to 80 or something. It's ridiculous. It's pretty annoying. Also, I think that Zones is probably the best game mode out of all of them. I haven't played it yet though, because it's not in the rotation for ranked, and I don't really play ranked. I prefer just play casual. I played a lot of it with my friends though. I really wish that the umbrella seems really cool. Also, there's Tony Kenser. That's pretty cool, where there's new weapon kits and clothing. It seems really awesome. I like the more kits that they have from McMarion, honestly. It's really cool to have lots of kits. Also, they added a new specials with the launchers, which are basically bomb rushes. But just so they can say, oh, it's a completely unique special from Splatoon 1. When actually it's just like a ported bomb rush with really no changes. They also added a main power-up, which a lot of people say ruined it, but from my experience, damage up didn't really matter that much in the meta. There's also health up, which a lot of people are saying should return for Splatoon 3. I disagree though. I think that you shouldn't be able to change a weapon's shot skill. Instead, they should add something that changes how long it is before, like the frames. So they should add an ability which changes the frames in between shots. So, for example, a weapon could take 5 frames between shots, but no, that would be too fast. But like, say a charge shoots every 100 frames. With like this weapon, it would shoot every I don't know, 98 frames or something. And you could stack it. That would be better than adding main power up. It's changing the frames rather than changing with hits to kill, because I don't think it should be fair. And it shouldn't be as extreme as main power up can get, changing bamboo from a 2-hit to 1-hit kill. That actually ruined the weapon from what people are telling me. But in general, Splatoon seems quite balanced. I noticed that when you launch, there's no longer the ability doesn't no longer actually change it completely, makes it invisible. It just makes it invisible at close range, which does unfortunately make it a bit useless. Though the quick respawn and super jump made Splatoon's meta a bit samey, I guess, but it was still fun. Splatoon in general, Splatoon 2 does a lot better than Splatoon 1. The maps, there's like double the maps. It's amazing. It's really nice to have more variety, better subs, and shit. Anyway, as my complete review of Splatoon, as a port, it's a 6 out of, as a port, it's around a 7 out of 10. As a game on its own, it's a solid 9 out of 10. It's a really fun game that you can invest a lot of time into. It's really fun to play with friends, and you're able to do that. Unfortunately, no voice chat, online shit, no hackers. It's pretty good. Also, I would really appreciate if you unsubscribe and leave a dislike, because this video took like 5 hours to make, because I literally had to take the clips on my Nintendo Switch, post it to Twitter or Facebook, then use an external site to download it, and then just transfer it into my computer files, and then put it into iMovie, and then edit the shit. So anyway, thanks for watching. You can I'm not gonna waste your time by telling you to subscribe. I don't really care. If you're gonna do that, you probably would have already. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you all. Bye.